look, this is a look. I'm being honest with you, yeah.
Okay.
For you to look, it's just a matter of not knowing, or it's a matter of look, Ali. You're disproving that the Bible is corrupt. I feel a bit upset. I have to show the same with you. You can do it, no problem.
But the thing is, can I just interject, because he's saying he's making out now. Let me just say, you can't say. But let me just correct that statement, Ali, because you can't say you're proving the Quran, the Bible wrong. Therefore, now I'm coming back in the same. The whole debate was about the preservation of the scriptures. So I am entitled to question what is. So therefore, you cannot. I'm correcting your statement.
I'm not saying you are not entitled.
Okay, thank you.
I'm saying bring good evidence. Okay. Not like if I came and said, look, yeah, Jesus had 20 companions. Yeah, one of them came. You're gonna say, okay, look, I hear you out, but to come and say, oh, but there was 100,000, but you know this one of Ibn Masud that said he didn't believe, he thought it was some kind of a dua.
But then we had someone with 116 surahs.
One second.
Where did the extra two come from?
One second.
Because he said originally the Muslims will not be like the Christians who have different amount of books.
He said that, yes.
But we have someone with 116. Where did the extra two come from?
You're missing it again. You're missing it again, yeah? Very simple, yeah?
Yes.
Ibn Masud,
yes,
he didn't have those three.
Okay.
He must be very truthful and believe what he's believing.
Fine.
1 second, to come and say, it must be 111, the three verses are a dua, we make a dua, yeah, we use it, yeah? For him to change his mind after, there was no, because our hadiths are very clear, yeah? Okay. Anything that happens, we're clear, we don't sugarcoat anything, yeah? Okay. Show me anything from history, anything of a hadith that said, we got Abdullah bin Masud and we said we're going to chop your head off if you do not change it.
But that's the strong point. I never said that.
I never never said that. I'm saying the fact that Abdullah bin Masud changed his opinion after being corrected.
But where did the 116 come from? Yeah, we get that point.
No.
The 116.
Let me finish this.
Where did the two
that question? Come on, bro. It's getting cold, bro.
I know. Let's just because we don't want to be.
You're holding the question.
Oh, I start to shout. Now stop.
Yeah. Maybe my arguments are making you cold.
No, but answer him. Answer him about the extra surahs.
So therefore,
don't run.
Ibn Masud, he changed his opinion and he went and taught the Quran around the world with 114 chapters. Yeah, because if he's not infallible, we don't believe Abdullah bin Masud is infallible.
But where's the 116?
So now, point again. We're coming to 116, which is something that I heard new. Please give me the references. And another point.
Okay.
Another point. What we have today. Have you guys come across anything?
Now he's jumping back. Wait, let me just.
Deal with the missing surahs.
Look, very simple.
Deal with the missing surahs.
116 surahs. I'm asking a very simple question. Yeah.
Wait.
Has anybody come across a Quran more than 114 chapters? Extra verse, everything or not?
Now, Ali Dawah is making a straw man point because listen to what I said.
Cloud paperboy.
I want everyone to pay attention to my argument. Yeah. Because Ali Dawah said he's gonna check the preservation of the Bible. Yes. He made strong claims that the Quran has been memorized by everyone he gave us that lovely diagram from the beginning that it has been perfectly preserved. Everyone memorized it like for like. So therefore I'm showing him in the beginning you had even someone who had 116 surahs. So what happened to those extra two? Because therefore we have 114, so that means 2 surahs have gone missing. If Ali Dawah doesn't know,
firstly, once again,
do you want me to show you? I've got Al Sayyuti.
No problem.
Wait, let me.
Who had 2 extra surahs? What was the surahs? Please bring me that. And once again, look.
Okay, so let me give you the name of the surah. This is for Al Sayyuti. He says, as a result, the 2 full chapters which were missing were Al Hadith and Al Kal, which were in the Quranic versions of Ubay ibn Kab, Ibn Abbas, and Abu Musa were eliminated. In addition, Surah Al-Fatiha, Surah Al-Falaq, and Surah Al-Nas were added. So therefore, the 2 missing ones were
Who took it out and who added it?
Who added it?
Who added
That's
it?
what I'm asking you.
I'm asking you.
Because
who took it out? Who added it?
Exactly. I am not. It doesn't.
Our sources.
Yes. This is from Al Sayyuti. So this is a classical scholar. So he can't ask me who took it out. That's what I'm asking you.
No problem.
Where did the 2 extra surahs disappear to? Because he said the Quran has been perfectly preserved. Now he's saying, wait, let me just make my point. He said the Quran has been perfectly preserved. He didn't even realize 2 surahs had gone missing. So how can you make that claim if you cannot even account or give me an explanation of what happened to those 2 verses? Therefore, you're making an assumption. That's why I asked him, give me contemporary evidence about these people, because we're seeing things that do not add up. First, we have the standard manuscript that has different wordings to the current Quran, and now we have 2 extra surahs that have gone missing.
Paperboy, look, with all due respect, paperboy.
Okay, were you aware of those 2 chapters that were missing?
I know they've been Masud. The 2 you're talking about, sources, brother.
You want me to show you?
I'm not talking about ketchup.
Would you like me to show you? Would you like?
Give me sources.
Would you like me to show you? Ali Dawah.
Do
you want me to show you now? No, he's asking you a question, bro.
He's avoiding the question. I'm saying I will show him the sources. Would you like to see the source now?
Show me the sources, number 1.
Okay.
Number 2.
Yeah, you go on.
Number 2. Going back to our original point, yeah? Okay. Very simply, yeah? 114 chapters about Imam Masud dealt with Imam Masud, changed his opinion after being corrected by many other companions. He's not infallible, number 1. Does not disprove the Quran. Because if that was the case today, what will we have? We will have what the Christians fell into, what? 66 books for the Protestant version, which he turns around to the other ones and says, the Orthodox version, that's not the word of God. Charismatic version, that's not the word of God. All of these other versions, he says, that's not the word of God.
You said that.
Have you ever come across, is this the word of God? The Catholic version.
The Catholic version contains
I know that. Is that the word of God? Is that
canonical?
Is it inspired by God?
I go by the Protestant version.
Meaning, I reject the 73.
No, because you have to.
No, you don't reject it.
Okay, in terms of Catholic, in terms of the but listen to what I'm saying. In terms of the deuterocanonical books, what is the Catholic presumption on those extra books? What do they define it as? Therefore, if you do not know, you cannot make a claim.
No, okay, you tell me. I don't know. I'm asking.
I don't know. So we cannot make a claim. No, but the thing is,
one second.
We know they are deuterocanonical. So therefore, we cannot make a claim against. Because
I can make a claim because I'm looking at number 6.
You cannot. You cannot. Because the thing is
there any kind of extra? Is there anything that's been added into your 66?
Okay. Can you find me a?
Has there been 7 extra books?
Can you find me? If you give me a Catholic that says they're all inspired and 100%, fair enough. But if you're making an assumption,
so Christian, the Catholic,
because as I said, I go by the King James.
No problem.
So therefore, unless you can,
so the Catholics have 7 extra books for the sake of it. They said today we want to.
They're deuterocanonical. So you have things like the Book of Enoch, which is quite reliable.
Okay, the Bible that you carry, does it have these 7 extra books?
No.
Thank you. So my point is this, very simple, yeah?
You're not making a strong point because you're making a point. But I've got to correct you because you're saying which Bible, but then you have to validate this claim that they will hold those extra books in the same light as the other 66.
Look, it's very simple and clear. Have you ever come across any of the Muslims coming and saying, hey, I've got 116 chapters of the Quran?
So we know two have gone missing. So therefore, how can you claim that the Quran?
What you're claiming,
and stoning, the stoning verse. Where did it go, bro?
Abrogated. By God, not by man.
Or was it eaten by a goat?
Exactly. I'm not debating. You're cameraman. You do your work. Okay.
All right.
Record properly. Yeah. I don't know why I'm looking at this camera. I'm on this camera here. Okay. So what I'm saying is,
answer the question.
Because
low blows.
The only thing I'm saying, Ali Dawah,
cameraman.
look, just in regards to this, because I know I'm going to let you speak.
I need to finish. Let me finish my point. Yeah. Okay. I'm saying something very simple. Yeah. What you're bringing to me, if it had any basis, today we will have disputes between the Muslims of, hold on a second, one of the companions said 116 verse chapters. Have anyone come across 2 Muslims debating the issue of my Quran 114, yours 116, Abdullah Masud 111? None, never. So I'm saying the reason why I say it's petty, I'm not saying you have a right to question it, but it's petty because I asked you a question which you agreed. These verses have been changed, but it doesn't affect our doctrine. What you're telling me is this, Ali, we put our hands up and I admire that. I respect your honesty. The Bible has been changed, but we still believe it doesn't affect our doctrine. Fam, it affects your doctrine because the very doctrine that you're getting is from a book that has corrupted.
Yeah, you don't know what.
You're a cameraman.
Yeah, you don't know what it means in books.
But the thing is, Ali Dawah, this is the problem with your argument. Because you're coming with which Bible, different one. And you're saying, you're making a fallacy in your argument. You're saying, well, today, Muslims don't disagree with how many verses, surahs. The reason why is because Uthman burned all the other ones. So therefore you cannot have one. So therefore we have to go back to the source. Because let me make my point.
Okay, one second.
Let me make my point. Because I let you talk. I'll let you make. So again, we've got in Mus'haf Kal Umar, and it's also repeated in Al-Sayyuti. It says, Umar said to me, how many verses are contained in the chapter of Al-Azad? I said 72 or 73 verses. He said, it was almost as long as the chapter of the cow, which contains 287 verses. And also we have again, Al-Sayyuti, it says, Ibn Ayyub Maryam reported to us from Ibn Lahbar, from Abu Azwad, from Ibn Zubair, that Aisha said, during the time of the Prophet, 200 verses of the chapter Al-Zab were recited, but when compiling the Quran, Uthman was only able to collect what now exists. So therefore we have a chapter that has we'll start from there. During the time of the Prophet, 200 verses of the chapter Azab were recited, but when compiling the Quran, Uthman was only able to collect what now exists. And this is in Al-Sayyuti. That's, you take a picture.
Where is this? Where is this? Where is this narration? Where is this from?
This is from Al-Sayyuti.
One second, which books? Which books? I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. What you're talking about is Surah Baqarah being recited, and Surah Anfal was a part of it.
Okay, now my point is this. Muslims will make a claim. They don't even know what their own sources say. I've gone and looked in the sources, and that's why I'm bringing things he doesn't even know about. Because this is why I'm disproving the fact that the Quran has been perfectly preserved. So I've started with the Sana manuscript to show there's variance. I'm even showing from Islamic literature that verses have gone missing because he knew about the Ibn Masud 111. He didn't know about the 116 verses. And now I'm showing you a quote.
You haven't. All you've done is this. Here's 116 verses. Where from? Who is it?
Al-Sayyuti.
Al-Sayyuti. Blah 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 blah. Something that I haven't even looked into, and you're bringing it here like it's. If your claim,
if you don't know about it, it's not my problem that you're ignorant of the fact. You're making a claim and you don't know the sources.
If I don't know about it, does not prove your point.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
It
does.
No,
it doesn't. Scholar, and he's
no,
not
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If we're having a debate, he can. No.
Help him.
You're heckling.
Just to clarify something.
Help him.
Yeah. Bro, just to clarify in Islam, when someone doesn't have knowledge, they normally in Islam we're commanded to say, just
ask the people of the book. Ask the people of the book.
Let me make a point on that. If you do not have knowledge, if you don't have knowledge, don't agree with someone.
No one says he doesn't.
I'm saying to you, if you don't have knowledge, do not agree to have a debate on something you do not know, because he chose the topic.
He did that. You came late, bro.
I did not choose the topic. So
you're talking on my behalf. You're making judgments on my behalf. You're talking about me like you know me.
I didn't say you that. I said clarify.
You don't know me. You don't know why I know why I don't know.
Well, we're finding out what you don't
know. No. You're just here. It's like me coming and saying, you know, there's some scholar called Jason B. Matthews. He came and said the Bible has blah blah blah. You're stupid. You don't know nothing. Look, I know it's prophetic.
But the thing is, you can go home and check what I'm saying. I'm not going to bring irrelevant facts because if it's being recorded, therefore you're going to go and check afterwards.
You have been speaking over me over and over and over again since the point that you admitted that the Bible is not the word of God. You went on a tantrum. You literally went on a tantrum.
No. I'm going on a tantrum. I did not say the Bible's not the word of God.
Stop lying.
He said I went on a tantrum.
Stop lying. Just because you got new cameras here. Just because you got new cameras here, you want to lie. Because he's lying. Because he's lying. He's lying, bro.
So you insult someone who's lying?
Coco.
I didn't insult.
Listen.
I said just because you got new cameras here. Why not?
Listen.
Let him defend himself, bro.
Listen.
That's Christianity.
You're getting a panic attack because
we Coco and Loco.
Allah says in the Quran, some of them, the guy can't hold his mouth. If you're like this guy can't hold his tongue, yeah?
Reflecting.
Look. Allah says in the Quran, some of them, they bite in rage. Yeah, this is what this guy's doing. He can't hold himself. You know, he's like, you know when you have diabetes, yeah. You're not well, and then you can't stay. So this guy,
stop playing for the cameras, bro. Stop playing for the cameras, bro.
Okay, yeah, let's get back on topic. Let's get Ali Dawah, please.
Let's have a conversation.
I'm telling him get back on topic. He's going on a monologue.
He's interfering here.
Yeah, but I said
man, how many times you stopped me?
Okay, I'm saying let's get back to the topic.
Since you admitted clearly,
that's it. He's now acting now, bro. He's acting now with the cameras.
So like I say, buy your hand in your rage. Let's die in your rage, yeah? Okay. Since Paperboy clearly admitted, yes, you know the verses, yeah, you know, but they don't affect our doctrine. You are clearly telling me the following, Ali. The verses, yep, I put my hand up, but it doesn't affect our doctrine. Irrelevant. You know why?
Ali,
because
tell me how
I haven't finished. Let me tell you how. Yeah. Where do you know about Jesus' divinity? Him dying for your sins on the cross. Do you get it from Harry Potter?
Okay, so let me ask you. Let me ask you, how do we know the verses are missing?
No, okay. Answer my question. How do you know Jesus is divine and he died for your sins?
Answer my question. Because he doesn't want to answer. So let me answer.
Please, I swear, wallahi.
So now, do a wrap up, bro. He's now acting, bro. Let's do a wrap up. He's now acting.
Look.
He's deflecting about the surahs and stuff.
Die in your rage.
Ali, answer him, bro.
Ali,
stop acting, bro. Stop acting, bro.
Look at me in the camera.
Very simple. I ask a question. How does that verse not being here affect the doctrine? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, I'm asking you a very simple question, and I'm looking right in your eyes. Where do you get Jesus' divinity and him dying for your cross?
So now Ali's asking me about the preservation of the Bible. So therefore, we know throughout the Christian tradition, as I started first, the church gave birth to the Bible. So we didn't even need a Bible. We can reconstruct.
So
we can reconstruct the Bible even from the church fathers, because what Ali is doing, he's making an argument from the manuscripts. But then if I talk about his oral traditions, he'll say it's supreme, untouchable. But if I talk about the church traditions and say the narrative of the Christian faith have developed from the very beginning, and I gave you the quote from Clement of Rome, who said, I'll give you that one. But when we start from Clement of Rome, who said he was taught by the apostles, we know this story about the death and the resurrection came through the church, gave birth to the scriptures, and then continued. So therefore, if you have manuscripts and the verses that you gave, because we could, let's actually, if you bring the verses up, let's see what the verses actually say that you brought. Because my point is this: the core Christian doctrines is the death and the resurrection and the apostles. So therefore, the verses that you brought, we can even verify in front of them, are very insignificant verses. So therefore, we know through the tradition of the church as well, even if we go to the earliest manuscript that we have, it still says the same thing.
No, but I agree with you. All the verses that I quoted have nothing to do with
let me
the
just finish my point. Now the difference is, when I then flip the script on the Quran, for example, saying how come there was extra verse, these two extra surahs, you didn't know anything about it, but therefore
I never said that.
You said that, bro.
You did. You said I don't know. You can go and check.
I said bring your sources, number one.
I gave you the sources.
Look, number two, I said this to you very clearly. The difference between me and you is the following. I'm bringing you substance, and I'm bringing you right at this moment with your eyes, and you can touch and see the scriptures, how it's been changed. You're telling me, Abdullah ibn Masud, there was 111 verses, no problem, argument. Okay, you got that. 116 verses, no problem, take it on the from the menu, from the house, no problem, yeah? Okay, how do you prove that by coming and saying, Ali, look, tangible, look at this, check this out, 116 verses, bro, look at this Quran. Then I can say, you know what, because what I'm telling you happened back then is an evidence what's happening right now. Because Allah says in the Quran, woe to those who change the scriptures with their own hands and say it's from Allah. One second. If you want to disprove the Quran, you know what you need to do? You need to prove the Bible is not corrupted, so we can say, you know what, fam, the Quran got it all wrong. But you're not. So therefore, you're telling me the church gave birth to the book. So it's not from God.
What is the church?
The church, the church fathers, the whole...
what is the church?
I don't know which one.
The church is a Christian body.
Okay.
So therefore, the Christian body is the church. So therefore, the people who were around the apostles, the bishop, the deacons, they are considered as the church. So therefore, this is what comes through an oral tradition.
No problem.
And then as Christianity spreads, they write it down.
No problem.
So therefore, the tradition has always continued in terms of the message being preserved.
Okay.
So therefore,
so is it the word? Okay. So the church is a body. No problem. They're a group of people. So the church wrote the Bible. It wasn't inspired by God.
The apostles wrote the Bible.
Okay, the apostles wrote the Bible.
Yes.
Was it inspired by God?
Yes. I started with that and I said yes.
Okay, all right. These verses that have, they are not, look, I'm telling you again, they've got nothing to do with the doctrine. No problem. Arguments, that's from the house as well. Yeah, the house is giving a lot free today. Okay, no problem. Now, they have got nothing to do with the doctrine. Yes. No problem.
But notice how he switches from the Quran to the Bible. Because he can't answer the question when I ask him about the Bible. He's not giving me because the thing is this. Because the thing is this. He will talk about his tradition, but I'm showing him the earliest tradition. There were conflicts. I've shown that in one of the because he.
Show me one conflict.
I've given you.
Show me.
I've shown you Ibn Masud.
Do you know what conflict is? Do you know what conflict is?
Because I showed you one person had 116.
Abdullah bin Masud taught 114 chapters till he died.
And what about the 116?
116 we're still going to come to and look into.
Okay.
You know what I need to do? I just need to make one phone call for 5 minutes and I'm with you.
You should have prepared. You should have prepared. That's not my problem. Now what I'm saying is this. I'm saying, okay, let me ask you this.
I'm going to bring something in. I don't know if it's reliable, but no, it doesn't work.
If you know your history, you can't. Wait. Let's get this straight. You cannot. Wait, Ali Dawah. No, wait. You cannot say you want to have a debate on something, and when someone brings you information, appeal to ignorance and say, I don't know, therefore we cannot take your information. That's not my problem. I can look at the sources.
We're just going to verify your information.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You can't say, oh, well, I don't know. But I can keep going on about it.
I'm not going to lie to you and say, I know I'm sent by God, I'm an angel.
2 surahs have gone missing, and from the verse of Ahzab, 200 verses have gone missing. Let me give you an example of something you do.
No, you're missing. You're changing the topic.
No, because the topic is the preservation of the scripture.
Yes, both of them. So I'm telling you, I brought you, look, very simply, I brought you all these verses that have been changed.
And I'm giving you 200 verses, two surahs that have gone missing. For example, the verse of the stoning is not in the Quran, but the practice is still carried out, but the verse is not in the Quran.
Because it was abrogated by God, not man.
By God.
This is the difference.
By a gold, you mean? By a gold, you mean?
Exactly.
By a gold, you mean?
Exactly.
Listen. You guys can laugh, do backflips about it. You can do what you like. Don't be hurt. Look, let me finish my sentence. You always cut me.
Because
listen.
You don't let me finish talking.
No, I listen to you. I listen to you.
Because you're cutting in.
Can I finish? The reason why you guys are laughing is the following. You know very well your scriptures are corrupted. It's all of, if I went to anybody and said, Bible, finish the sentence off, corrupted. Anybody. So now you're upset with us, Muslims. Why are you upset with me? Did I change your Bible? No. Don't be upset. Don't laugh. I know when you're laughing, deep inside you're not laughing. I know that. I know you behind the camera and you there, you're not laughing with comfort, bro. It's coming deep down of upsetness, maybe. So I finished my point. So therefore, trust me, with this guy Coco, yes, definitely. I'm exposed to psychiatrists, yeah. Now I'm saying something very simple, yeah. The church made the Bible, yeah. They made the Bible. It's inspired by God. No, first you claimed very clearly. This is why you went off topic.
How did I go off topic? We're talking about the Quran. Because you don't want to stay on topic, you want to diverse. I've got so much more information that he doesn't know. No. But let me give you another example. Because you talk about the Battle of Yamama.
Yeah, he did.
Abu Dawood.
He's just going to cut me all the time. So very simple. 116 chapters of the Quran. Please, I beg you. Please, I beg you.
Ali, 2 minutes. Please. We'll do like another 15 minutes and we'll do 2 minutes, 2 minutes.
Please.
Can we
do 2 minutes, 2 minutes?
Please, thank God.
All right. Has anyone got
brothers, what time does Isha start? Because I need to pray. So when he starts, I'm going to give him 5 minutes to talk. I'm going to pray. Yeah? Can you check? What time is Isha? Can someone check? Let me know, yeah?
About half an hour.
Half an hour left, yeah?
Can someone time 2 minutes?
Okay, remind me. Half an hour left, yeah?
Yeah, half an hour.
Yeah, can someone time 2 minutes?
Okay, let me know when it's in about 15 minutes, yeah? Okay, are you speaking first or me?
I'll speak first. You are, so I'll take you off. Yeah. Okay. So if we go to the Abu Dawood, he writes, many of the passages of the Quran that were sent down were known by those who died on the day of Yamama, but they were not known by those who survived them, nor were they written down, nor had Abu Bakr, Umar or Uthman collected the Quran, nor were they found with even one person after them. This is why I'm asking him, where did these 2 extra surahs go for? Or where did the 200 verses go? Because what happened at the battle is many people were dying, and then they realized they needed to preserve the Quran. So therefore, this is why we go to the earliest traditions. We see many distortions. Let me give you something else from Al-Sayuti. Abdullah bin Umar, Umar's son, he said, let none of you say, I have got the whole Quran. How does he know what all of it is? Much of the Quran has lost. Let him say instead, I have got what has survived. Therefore, we go to another one, Tafsir Mantha, Volume 1. Verily amongst you people, one would say he has found the Quran whilst he is unaware of what the total quantity of the Quran was, because most of the Quran has been lost. Rather, one should say that verily he has found the Quran that has appeared. This is why I appeal to the beginning, where Masood had 111, Uthman had 114, and I think Ibn Kaid had 116. So therefore, we're seen in the earliest traditions. We then also went to Hafs, who was a liar. So therefore, we're looking at the sources and showing this cannot be confirmed.
Has finished. Okay, thank God for that, yeah?
He was thinking.
Okay, 2 minutes, man. You be quiet. You're not even in the debate. How are you talking?
Are you ready?
No minute for you, zero. Yeah. Okay, brothers and sisters, I made it very simple, very clear. Yeah. He admitted. This is what the Christians say, and we respect them for that. Yeah. They come and say the Bible. Yes, it's been changed. At least be a man, be straight up. Don't say, oh, but it doesn't affect our doctrine. Very clearly, I showed you verses that you can see with your own eyes today. Very clearly. It's not the word of God. If you're coming and telling me, but how does that affect the doctrine? Fam, can you imagine me coming and saying to you, this water is pure, it gives you energy, yeah? If there's a drop of poison in it, would you drink it? No. So don't come and tell me, oh, how does it affect our doctrine? It affects your doctrine because the very foundation, Jesus' divinity, him dying on the cross, did you hear it from Harry Potter? Did you watch it on EastEnders? Coronation Street? No, you went to the Bible. But this very Bible is corrupted. So the question that needs to be asked is the following. If the Bible is corrupted, do we not beg the question and say, hold on a second, what else is corrupted? What else is problematic? Yeah? When you get to know somebody, and you see my man is a thief, you start asking the question, if he's a thief, what else does he have a problem with? Yeah? Hold yourselves, guys, hold yourself, relax yourself, calm down. Yeah? So the thing is, you're going to ask a question, if my man is a thief, and if he's a thief, there might be other problems with the guy, yeah? So he's saying, yeah, you know, the Bible is mashed up, it's corrupted, but, what do you mean, but? And another thing about 116 chapters, very simple. If 116 chapters of the Quran was in dispute, I'm looking now, I actually need to make a phone call, I'm just going to look into it. If that's the case, today you will have Muslims saying, hold on a second, one of the companions said there was 116. Yeah? Why don't none of us have that? None of us. Why? Because it's been orally preserved. And this is what our Christian friends don't like it. And they blame us. They ever go out and get upset because their Bible is corrupted.
No, Ali was going on a monologue and he didn't address anything that I said.
Yeah.
So in terms of where the verses, where are the 2 extra verses? There were 116. Where did they disappear to? Where are the 200 verses that went missing? This is what we want an answer to. You cannot say, oh, we have an old tradition, therefore it's preserved. We don't work on that. We want evidence. We want either contemporary evidence, show me the earliest manuscript of the Quran that confirms with what the current 1924 manuscript that all Muslims use today. That's the oldest full Quran. So we want to know what happened to those verses. Now, there's also something that I would like Ali Dawah to address, because in the Quran it says Allah will not cause Muhammad to forget something unless it should be abrogated. Yes? Yes. Now let's go to the hadiths. It says, for example, Aisha reported that the Apostle of Allah heard a person reciting the Quran at night. Upon this he said, may Allah show him mercy. He has reminded me of such and such verse, which I had missed in such and such surah. So therefore we see even a prophet forgetting verses. But according to the Quran, if he forgets it, it should be abrogated. So why is this person reminding the prophet of verses that Allah has caused him to forget? So therefore we even have a problem from the very start that the prophet could not even remember his own verses. Also, we have Allah's messenger used to practice itikaf in the middle 10 days of Ramadan, and once he stayed in itikaf till the night of the 21st, and it was the night in the morning of which he used to come out of his itikaf. The Prophet said, whoever was in itikaf with me should stay in itikaf for the last 10 days, for I was informed of the date of the night of Qadr, but I have been caused to forget it. I saw myself prostrating in the morning of the night.
We just hit jackpot. You know, have you ever hit jackpot in your life? No. You can't, because it's haram, you can't gamble. Yeah? Okay.